I shall believe. And I shall believe. When I can't make no sense of nothing. When I can't find my way through the darkness. I know you shine a light. I know you shine a light. And you'll light my way. I'm not alone. I'm not alone, no, I'm not alone. Just the way you made me. I'm just the way you made me. I'm just the way you made me. And that's the way I'll be, beautiful in your eyes.
You're watching Studio.
Jean Baudrillard, the French philosopher, talks about how life now is all simulation. There's no actual real anymore, it's all constructed by people. Carnage was an ephemeral installation where I used about 100 kilos of plasticine, turned them into a flock of birds and put them on the ground. And it started off with dancers coming across the field to kind of play with the space. And the audience then had to come out across the space to get to the food. So the audience unwittingly became part of the performance. Most of the current work has started as a result of going to the Queensland Museum. In third year, my lecturer said to me, there's this parrot and it hops around at night and it's really mysterious, you should go check it out. It was a night parrot and they'd only found one 10 years before and then not since 1911. John Gould came out here in the 1800s. His particular drawings were all of dead birds, but he made them all look lifelike. So I've reproduced the same sort of style and font, but made them all dead. When they showed me the night parrot, I got access to the whole collection. So to see like masses of dead bird bodies everywhere, you get a real sense of awe and wonder about the kinds of things that we have here in Australia that are native species, and also the extinction of species as a result of human collection or consumption. To actually go through and paint them individually, it is sort of like a memento mori in the sense of remembering life lost.
This December on Studio is a month of mayhem, headlined by the masters and backed up by the minds that inspire.
I couldn't believe how good it was.
From the lives of legendary musicians to the eyes that change the way we see. Celebrate the return of Bjork live in Paris. Pay tribute to John Lennon and sharpen up for a bit of the old ultra-violence in one of the greatest films and its era. See the arts up close this December on Studio, Channel 132. You're watching Studio.
Studio would like to advise viewers the following program is classified PG. Parental guidance is recommended for younger viewers.
Welcome to another Studio season ticket production, giving you the best seats in the house to Australia's greatest performances. We've seen the passion and tragedy of Graham Murphy's Romeo and Juliet and the iconic songs of Archie Roach and Friends from Womadelaide. But tonight, another special performance, this time recorded live from the Melbourne Festival. And the lineup is extraordinary. From gospel and soul legend Mavis Staples to Ricky Lee Jones, Joss Stone, former Sudanese child soldier turned hip-hop artist Emmanuel Jal, and Australia's Paul Dempsey, all joined, of course, by the wonderful Black Arm Band. They've come together for a concert called Notes from the Hard Road and Beyond. It's a joyous testament to the triumph of the human spirit. I think this Melbourne Festival lineup is one of their most exciting yet, and they perform songs tackling issues as wide-ranging as civil rights and women's suffrage to messages of anti-war and environmentalism. Now you'll hear songs by Woody Guthrie, Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, Pete Seeger, and even Green Day. So, let's go to the Sidney Myer Music Bowl in Melbourne, take your front row seats as the Studio season ticket brings you Notes from the Hard Road and Beyond.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, Archie.
Oceans of words have been written about change. More books have been written and burnt about change and revolution than any of us could ever hope to read. More music, more songs. Songs sung in secret, performed in churches, shouted at protests, whispered in prisons and kitchens. Songs about change, finding their way around. I'm Rachel Mazza. The songs tonight come from anger, but are a call for empathy. And they ask us to consider one simple question. How would I feel had this happened to me? In 1931, in Harlan County, Kentucky, Florence Reese and her 3 children were confronted and bullied by men hired by a coal mining company. And what was Florence's crime? She was married to a union organiser. Which side are you on?
I want to introduce to all of you now, and I expect that most of you already know her, Miss Florence Reese.
Now, this song I composed in the 30s. And you know, I'm old, that's 40 years ago, and I can't sing very well. But you can ask the scabs and the gun thugs which side they're on, because they're workers too.
Come all you good workers, good news to you I'll tell, how the good old union is coming here to dwell. Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? J.H. Blair. Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you Which side
Mum and Dad and Denny saw the passing out parade at Puckapunyal. It was a long march from cadets, and the 6th Battalion was the next to tour. It was me who drew the card. We did Canungra, Shoalwater before we left, and Townsville lined the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the paper shows us young and strong and clean. And there's me, me slouch hat, with me SLR and greens. God help me, I was only 19. From Buntown riding Chinooks to the dust of Newey Dat, I'd been in and out of choppers now for months. We made our tents a home VB and pen-ups on the lockers, and an Asian orange sunset through the scrub. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? Night time's just a jungle dark and a barking M16. What's this rash? Comes and goes, can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19. A 4-week operation, when each step could mean your last one on 2 legs. It was a war within yourself, but you wouldn't let your mates down till they had you dusted off. So you closed your eyes and you thought about something else. And then someone yelled out, "Contact front!" and the bloke behind me swore. We hooked in there for hours, then I got almighty roar. And then Frankie kicked a mine, the day that mankind kicked the moon. God help me, he was going home in June. I can still see Frankie drinking tinnies in the Grand Hotel on a 36-hour rec leave in Buntown. And I can still hear Frankie lying screaming in the jungle till the morphine came and killed the bloody row. And the Anzac legends didn't mention Martin, blood and tears. And the stories that my father told me never seemed quite real. And I caught some pieces in my back that I didn't even feel. God help me, I was only 19. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? And why the Channel 7 chopper chills me to my feet? And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19.
was too big to ignore. And I know too much to go back and pretend. 'Cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one is gonna keep me down again. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's with a bond of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I had to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I'll come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you deepen the conviction of my soul. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's with the bond of pain. And yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I had to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. I am woman, watch me roll, see me standing toe to toe, as I stretch my loving arms around the world. But I'm still an embryo with a long, long way to go, until I make my brother understand. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's with the bond of pain, yes. And yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I had to, we can do anything. We are strong, we are invincible, we are woman. Yes, I am. Say I'm strong, I am invincible. And I thank the Lord. Yes, I do. I thank the Lord. I thank the Lord that I am, that we are. Yes, I thank Him, yeah. We are women, ladies. We are woman. We are
Give me back my broken eye, my mirrored room, my secret life. It's lonely here, there's no one left to torture. Give me absolute control over every other living soul, and lie beside me, baby, that's an order. Give me crack and anal sex, and take the only tree that's left and stuff it up the hole in your culture. Give me back the Berlin Wall, give me Stalin and St. Paul. I've seen the future, brother, and it is murder. And now things are gonna slide in all directions. Won't be nothing, nothing you can measure anymore. The blizzard blizzard of the world has crossed the threshold and it's overturned the order of the soul. When they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. When they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. When they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. You don't know me from the wind, you never will, you never did, but I'm the little Jew who wrote the Bible. How many nations rise and fall? I've heard their stories, I've heard them all, but love's the only engine of survival. And your servant here, he has been told to say it clear and say it cold. It's over, it ain't going any further. You'll hear the wheels of heaven stop. You'll feel the devils riding crop. Get ready for the future. It is murder. And now things are gonna slide, slide in all directions. Won't be nothing, won't be nothing you can measure anymore. The blizzard of the world has crossed the threshold and it's overturned the order of the soul. When they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. When they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. And when they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. You'll see the breaking of the ancient western code, and your private life will suddenly explode. There'll be phantoms, there'll be fires on the road, and a white man dancing. You'll see a woman hanging upside down. Oh, her features covered by her fallen gown. And all those lousy little poets coming around, trying to sound like Charlie Manson. Give me back the Berlin Wall, give me Stalin and St. Paul, give me Christ or give me Hiroshima. Destroy another fetus now. We don't like children anyhow. Yet I've seen the future, baby, and it is murder. And now things are gonna slide, slide in all directions. Won't be nothing, nothing you can measure anymore. The blizzard of the world has crossed the threshold and it's overturned the order of the soul. When they said, repent, repent, I wondered what they meant. When a new media. Can you hear the sound of hysteria? The subliminal mindfuck America. Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation. One thing is meant to be okay. The television sounds of tomorrow. We're not the ones who are meant to follow. That's enough to argue.
Story's right, the story's true. I would not tell lies to you like the promises they did not keep. How they fenced us in like sheep. Said to us, come take a hand. Set us up on mission land. They told us to read, write and pray. Then they took the children away, the children away, the children away. Snatched from their mother's breast, said this is for the best, took them away. Welfare and the policemen, they said you got to understand, 'cause we give to them what you can't give. Teach them how to really live. Teach them how to live, they said. Humiliated them instead. They taught them that, taught them this, and others taught them prejudice when it took children away. All those children away, breaking their mother's heart, tearing us all apart, took them away. One dark day on Framingham, so they come and did not give a damn. Lord, my mother cried, go get their dad. He came running, he was fighting me. Mother's tears were falling down, and my dad shaped up, and he stood his ground, and he said, you touch my kids, you got to fight me. Then they took us from our family, took us away. Ah, they took us away. Snatched from our mother's breast, said this is for the best, took us away. Someone, someone. I told her so. These are white man's ways about. Then they split us up again. And they gave us gifts to ease the pain. Sent us off to them foster home. And as we grew up, oh, we felt alone. 'Cause we were acting white and feeling black. One sweet day, the children came back. Then my children came back. Lord, why those children came back. Back where their hearts go strong. Back where they all belong. The children came back. I said children came back. Oh, the children came back. Back where they understand. Back to this mother's land. The children came back. Back to the mother. Back to their father. Children came back. How the children came back. Yeah, I came back. Twitter.
This land is your land. This land is my land. Oh, yeah. From California, yeah, to the New York Island. From the Gulf Stream water, yeah, to the Gulf Stream water. Made for you and me. Yeah. As I went walking that ribbon on a highway, and I saw above me, yeah, that endless skyway. Yeah. I saw below made for you and me.
You know then they looked hungry, and I stood wondering, I was wondering if this land was made for you and me. Your land, yeah, yeah. This land is your land. This land is your land. This land is my land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California, yeah, New York City, from the redwood forest. How? Was made, Mavis.
Look out, baby girl.
Who was it made for?
Look out, baby
Mavis?
girl.
Tell me who was
Look
it
at
made
him,
for?
look at him.
Tell me.
Oh, it was made for you, and you,
And all of you.
and you and me. What? Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Paul and Silas found in jail, had no money to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Paul and Silas began to shout. Doors popped open and all walked out. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Well, the only chains we can stand are the chains of hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Got my hand on the freedom plow. Wouldn't take nothing from a journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Yeah. You hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Come on with it. Well, yeah. on. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Woo. Now this next song that we're going to sing for you, it was written by my father, Pop Staples. Thank you. He wrote it back in 1961. Yeah. And he wrote it for the big march. The big march, y'all. The march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. Yes. We called it the Freedom Highway. And I tell you, I'm still on that highway. I'm still on that highway. And I will be there. I will be there until Dr. King's dream has been realized. Freedom Highway, y'all. Freedom Highway. Woo. Freedom's highway. March each and every day. March up freedom's highway. March each and every day. Made up my mind that I won't turn around. Made up my mind I won't turn around. Listen. This one thing I can't understand, my friend. Why some folk think freedom was not designed for all men. There are so many people living their life perplexed, wondering in their mind what's gonna happen next. March on freedom's highway. Yeah, march each and every day. Freedom's highway. Yeah, march each and every day. Made up my mind and I won't turn around. Made up my mind I won't turn around. Listen, found dead people in the forest, Tallahatchie River and Lake. Whole world is wondering what's wrong with the United States. Yes, we want peace. If it can be found, stay on freedom's highway. And I'm not gonna turn around. Think I voted for the right man. Said we'd overcome. Stay on freedom's highway until the day is done. Yeah. Freedom's highway. Each and every day. March of freedom's highway. turn around. I won't turn around. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo.
Wasted and wounded, it ain't what the moon did. I got what I paid for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey Frank, can I borrow a couple of bucks from you to go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. I'm an innocent victim of a blinded alley, and I'm tired of all these soldiers here. Well, no one speaks English, and everything's broken, and my shoes are soaking wet to go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. When the dogs are all barking and the taxi cabs parking, a lot they can do for me. And I begged you to stab me. You tore my shirt open, and I'm down on my knees tonight. Oh, Bushmill, I staggered. You buried the dagger with your silhouette window light to go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. Well, I lost my St. Christopher now that I kissed her, and the one-armed bandit knows, and that maverick Chinaman, and all the cold-blooded signs, and the girls down by the strip-tease shows go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. Well, I don't want your sympathy. The fugitives say that these streets aren't for dreaming now. Matilda's the defendant. She's killed about 100. She follows you where you may. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. It's a battered old suitcase to a hotel someplace, and a wound that will never heal, and no prima donna, but the perfume is on a old shirt that's stained with blood and whiskey. Good night, the street sweepers and the hotel keepers, and good night, Matilda.
We started tonight in anger, in the great music fires that anger builds. I mean, some of the best ideas are born in rage, but many ideas come from other places beyond anger.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. In the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling and I'm feeling good. Oh, so good. There's a place for us somewhere, a place for us, peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere.
And there's a time for us someday, a time for us, time together and time to spare, time to learn, time to care. Somewhere,
Find a new way of living.
we'll find a way of forgiving.
There's a
Place for us, a time and place for us.
hold my hand
And we're halfway there. Hold my hand, and I'll take you there. I don't believe in an intervention. reaching the sky. But I know, darling, that you do. And if I did, I would kneel down and ask you not to intervene when it came to you, not to touch a hair on your head, to leave you as you are. If he felt he had to direct you into my arms, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms. And I don't believe in the existence of angels, but looking at you, I wonder if that's true. But if I did, I would summon them together and ask them to watch over you, to each burn a candle for you, to make bright and clear your path, and to walk like Christ in grace and love, and guide you into my arms, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms. But I believe in love, and I know that you do too. And I believe in some kind of path that we can walk down, me and you. So keep your candles burning, make a journey bright and pure, that should keep returning always and evermore. Into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms.
Hello people, how you guys doing? Can I have lights at the audience, please? I want to see the people. Yeah. How you guys doing? Awesome, awesome. Well, the next song is gonna be a celebrated song. It's dedicated to a British aid worker called Emma McCune. She rescued over 150 child soldiers, and one of them happened to be me. So, I met Emma at a journey where we were like 400 young people mixed with adults. Only 16 people survived that journey. And it's the lowest point in my life where I was tempted to eat my friend because we ran out of food. We're depending on vultures, snails, anything we could eat. And cannibalism started. And so I met Emma, and then She became the turning point of my life. And so why am I doing this? I want to do this song because I see good people around here. And I want to ask you, if you have an opportunity, go out there and give a life to somebody. You guys agree with me? And so I'll ask the guys at the back there, would you like to celebrate with me at the back? Yeah, I want you guys to stand up, stand up, stand up. You can stand up from your seat, please. If you don't know how to do hip hop, it's easy. Just do your head like this, you know? For the guys in front of you, you can sit. You know, it's allowed. Don't want to get sued. All right, so you guys ready at the back? If you're ready, let me see your hand at the back there. All right, it's time to rock, people. Let's go. This one goes to Emma McCune. Angel to the rescue one afternoon. I'm here because you rescued me. I'm proud of your legacy. Thank you. Bless you. R.I.P. What would I be if Emma never rescued me? What would I be? What would I be? Another southern refugee. What would I be? On the telly, fat hungry belly, flies in my eyes, that too big for my size. Just another letter serving child, running around in Africa, born to be wild. Praise God, praise the Almighty for sending an angel to rescue me. I got a reason for being on this earth, cause no more than many water, life is worth it. Now that I get a chance to stand my ground, I'm gonna run mountains, trees and bounds. I ain't an angel, but I'll be one soon. And if I am, I wanna be like Emma McCune. Me, what would I be if Emma never rescued me? What would I be? What would I be? Me, another summer refugee. What would I be? What would I be? Me, if Emma never rescued me. Hey, yeah. I would have probably died from starvation or some other wretched disease. I would have grown up with no education, just another refugee. I stand here because somebody cared. I stand here because somebody cared. I know there is a lot of us out there who's willing and trying to save a life of a child. What would I be if Emma never rescued me? What would I be? Another silent refugee. Remember the time when I was small, where I couldn't read or write at all. Now I'm all grown up, I got my education. The sky is the limit and they can't be stopped by no one. Oh, I pray for this day to come, and I pray that the world find wisdom to give the poor in need some assistance instead of putting up resistance. Yeah, sitting and waiting for the politics to fix this. It ain't gonna happen. They're all sitting on their asses, popping champagne and scorching up their asses. Coming from the refugee boy shelter, but I still got my dignity. I gotta say it again, even if I never rescue me, I'll be a cult of the African plane. Is there anybody with me at the back there? Are you there? Let me see your hand if you're there for Emma McCune, people. Yeah, I'm gonna get crazy now.
place. Y'all, ain't nobody crying. No, ain't nobody worried. No, ain't no smiling faces. No, lying to the races. No, don't help me. Come on. Somebody help me now.
I'll take you there.
Help me, y'all.
I'll take you there.
Oh, help me now.
I'll take you there.
Mercy.
I'll take you there.
Let me take you there.
I'll take you there.
Let me take you there.
I'll take you
there. Let me take you there.
I'll take you there.
Let me take you there.
I'll take you there.
Good sound. Play your piano now. All right. Just do it. Come on now. Play on it. Craig. Need you, help me. I need you. Hey Mick, I need you. Dum. Yeah. Dum. What you doing, sock and soul? Oh yeah, I know I praise y'all. Yes I do. Ain't nobody crying. No. Ain't nobody worried. Ricky, ain't no smiling faces. Lying to the races. No. Josh, help me. Let me take you there. Let me take you there. Take me there.
I'll take you there.
Yeah. Take you there.
I'll take you there.
Come on now, baby sister. Don't you wanna go?
I'll take you there.
Don't you wanna go?
Yes, I wanna go.
Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go?
Baby, when you let me go.
Come on and go with me. Come on and go with me. You gotta be ready. You gotta be. Woo! Gotta be ready, yeah. You gotta be ready, y'all. Oh, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Get ready to go. Get ready to go. Help. Hey! Oh, Ricky, you gotta go with me. You gotta come on and go with me. Let me take you there. Let me take you. Hey, good God Almighty. Good God. Come on, sister. Come on, sister. let's go, let's go, let's go. I wanna take you there. I wanna take you there. Wanna take you there. Thank you. Thank you, Ricky. Hey, baby. Yeah. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're gonna take you there. Woo!
Riding down a highway, going to a show. Stopping all the byways,
Stopping by the byway.
playing rock,
Playing rock and roll.
getting rock,
Getting rock.
getting stoned,
Getting stoned.
getting beat up,
Getting beat up.
getting boned,
Getting boned.
getting high,
Getting high.
getting took.
Getting took.
I tell you folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to the top
If you wanna rock and roll,
It's
it's a long way to the top. If you wanna rock and roll. Yeah.
You think it's easy doing one night stands?
Yeah.
Try playing in a rock and roll band. It's a long way to the top.
If you wanna rock and roll. Yeah.
Motel, motel, make you wanna cry.
Make you wanna cry.
Lady, do the hard sell.
Lady,
that's the last studio season ticket performance for 2011. Please join us next year as we continue to bring you the best in exclusive local performances from right across Australia and into your lounge room. Only on Studio, Channel 132.
You're watching Studio. Do you like music that makes you want to dance? Music that brings out your wild side? Then surrender to the beat of Latin music. Meet the star.
One of the first steps in being a successful artist lies in studying the works of others. And, as conservators at the Smithsonian have found, scrutinizing art can take on certain scientific qualities as well. Nearly 400 years ago, a Latino artist in Puerto Rico carved and painted this figure of Saint Anne, or in the language of the artist, Santa Anna. This type of statue is known as a santo, from the Spanish word for saint. It was created by a folk artist who never left his signature. For centuries, Santa Anna has stood mute, her story lost in time. Now art conservators at the Smithsonian Institution are using high-tech methods to unlock the secrets of the Santos. When Spanish missionaries arrived in the Americas in the 16th century, they brought with them the practice of creating wooden figures of the Catholic saints. Newly converted Christians embraced this spiritual art form and forged a distinctive American look. Along with this new style of art came fresh cultural traditions. Families started to repaint their santos to celebrate feast days or the answer to a prayer. Today, scientists can read the paint layers like a written history of each statue.
We take a very, very small sample, and then we embed them and can study the cross sections. So, and then use electron microscope. We can study each layer. And for example, in a lot of this repaint, the bottom layer probably is the original, and probably you will find, for example, if it's 17th century pieces, you will find a lot of traditional pigments, and we can identify pigment and to correlate with the time and period.
Sang was able to unravel Santa Anna's history by studying her 8 layers of paint. The second layer is ultramarine, a luxury paint made from ground-up gemstones, once prized by the well-to-do as a mark of prestige. Conservators believe Santa Anna was probably owned by a wealthy family. Delving beneath the paint, scientists also studied the wood of the santos for more clues. Smithsonian researcher Harry Alden magnified tiny samples of wood from each santo to determine its species.
You look at the types of cells that are present and how they're arranged in the tissue that's called wood, and from that there are different features on the cells, for instance pits. Sometimes you can find crystals, like you can see behind me, that show up under polarized light. And the size of those crystals and how they're arranged and which cells they're in gives you certain features. The diameter of the vessels or the pores in the wood, how thick the fibers are. All these things come together to give you a picture of what the wood is.
This wood sample was taken from the Holy Child of Cebu, a santo that was believed to have come from the Philippines. After studying its cells, Alden was able to identify the tree's genus as Sandaravan, which is native only to the Philippines. In this case, science was able to confirm the curator's guesswork.
You have woods that are selected for ease in carving. They hold a nice shape. They're very easy to carve, things like cedrela and true mahogany. But then there's another set of objects that are woods that are not easy to carve, like citrus, which is a very dense, hard wood. Lignum vitae, which is one of the hardest woods known. It has the tensile strength of aluminum. These things hold a very crisp edge. And the one statue, St. Peter of Alcatrana, is made of citrus. And it's a very, very small statue, very fine detail, and it's just gorgeous because the wood was so dense. It just kept its edge extremely well.
Alden compared the wood used in the statues themselves to the wood used in the bases they rest on. He found a revealing difference in quality, showing how some of the artists dealt with economic constraints.
One of the objects has a piece of wood that came from a packing crate because it has Texaco stamped on it. Some of the other analyses showed up things like tupelo, which wouldn't be native to the tropics at all. But it's it typically shows up in pallets and packing crates in the United States. So this was probably a case of reused wood. You can make some inferences that they used things for the base that were just around, that were either in the scrap piles or at the lumber yard, and saved the better stuff for the actual carvings.
To complete their investigation, scientists needed a way to look inside the Santos without harming them. They turned to a non-destructive method called zero radiography. Technicians passed X-rays through each Santo and then processed the X-ray plates in a machine similar to a photocopier. The end result? A positive image in which the denser materials look darker. Hidden techniques the artists used suddenly revealed themselves. Peering inside the Santos with X-rays helped the scientists to date the statues. While early Santos were carved from a single piece of wood, later statues were often assembled from several different pieces. In this image of St. John the Baptist, the saint's head is clearly darker than his body. Investigating further, the scientists were surprised to find a face made out of molded wax, a technique that modern Santo makers had never even heard of. This discovery sheds new light on how the Santos were once created, showing that some workshops used an assembly line method. Today's Latino artists bring a modern look to their Santos, and they add a non-traditional element, their own signatures, leaving a vital clue for future art historians. Up next, scientists use South Pacific coral and a high-tech transformation process to mend broken and diseased bones.
They change our world, and yet we take them for granted. Now, on a new series, we pull apart, unscrew, crack open, and go behind the design to reveal the fundamentals at work in modern conveniences we use every day. Machines. All new series premieres Friday, 17th December, exclusive to Discovery Science.
Without the insurance line funeral plan, it would have been difficult for me to fund the funeral. I didn't have any significant savings. I couldn't have got a loan.
How are your family going to find the money for your funeral? Do they have thousands of dollars on hand, and could they access that money quickly? Did you know that a basic funeral can cost around $6,000 or more, and the money is usually needed up front? The low-cost insurance line funeral plan can help protect your family from the high cost of a funeral. From as little as $3.41 a week for $6,000 cover, it really is a small price to pay for peace of mind.
It's really something that everyone should take out. It's not only peace of mind, but it doesn't leave your family with a financial burden.
So what are you waiting for? Help protect your family from the financial burden of your funeral with a low-cost insurance line funeral plan. Call Insurance Line now on 13 88 98.
Cockies, dead. Mozzies, dead. Blowies, dead. Now there's a better way to control pests and insects around your home, safely and automatically. This is what you do. So easy. Call now to get your Pestral Premium Insect Control Unit. You program the unit to emit a computerised, ultra-fine Pestral mist at regular intervals. Now for only $75, you never have to spray again. Pestral Premium is remote controlled, contains a natural plant extract, comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can even leave your house open. Easy to install, easy to program. Each refill lasts up to 8 weeks. And it comes with a 1-year warranty and a 30-day money-back guarantee. No more chasing insects with messy sprays. Call 1-800-338888 and get your Pestral Premium Insect Control Unit for just $75. The modern, automatic way to rid your home or office of unwelcome nasties. Order your Pestral Premium Unit. Call within 30 minutes and get free delivery. Call 1-800-338888 now.
Every 6.5 seconds in America, someone fractures a bone, and every minute a surgeon is grafting a bone back together. Bone grafts, replacing damaged bone with healthy bone tissue, are second only to blood transfusions on the list of transplanted materials. Now these crucial operations are becoming safer, faster, more cost-efficient, and successful because of a new process and a virtually endless supply of materials under the sea. In the past, to fill the void caused by serious fractures, a patient had two options. Take bone from another part of their body, which is painful, expensive, and takes additional surgery, or use bone from a cadaver and risk rejection or infection.
What we're looking at on this X-ray is the bottom part.
Now, scientists have found a better solution. The missing bone of these patients has been replaced with sea coral.
You can see the large void space in this area. Coming over here, you can see that our coral-based proosteon has been packed into this defect, and now the body's own bone will grow throughout this, and in a period of 6 months to a year will repair itself.
Coral-based proosteon is harvested from the coral reefs of the southern Pacific, where the skeletons of invertebrates become goniopora, a fast-growing, non-decorative coral. Scientists discovered an extraordinary fact. This coral mimics the composition of human bone.
The coral goes in the body, in the defect, and the body sees it as its own bone.
Before the coral can be grafted to human bone, it goes through a complex process. The coral heads are rinsed, dried and quartered, defects are cut out, and the coral are sliced into granules, croutons, and 6 bite-sized pieces.
And then it goes into this oven where it's literally cooked from 24 to 60 hours at over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. When it comes out, the coral has been converted from its original material, which was calcium carbonate, into calcium phosphate. That's the same mineral content as human bone, and the human body sees that as human bone when it's implanted in surgery.
The coral that comes out of this proprietary process acts as a scaffold or a matrix, a lattice work for the body's own bone to grow through and fill in.
The blood vessels go through the bone. It's followed by new bone cells being laid down throughout the scaffold of our product, and the body essentially heals itself.
Because the body recognizes the coral as its own bone, these implants are having dramatic success. At Scripps Institute of Oceanography, for instance, they see the world's ocean as the newest and largest untapped reservoir of potential compounds, compounds that do not exist above sea level. For example, common marine animals like sea slugs, sponges, and soft corals have toxins which, when made into drug formulas, could help fight human diseases from arthritis to cancer. It starts on the ocean floor, where research teams collect small samples of marine life. Cells from these samples are extracted, examined, and sent on to facilities like the National Cancer Institute for more testing. There are over 1 million cells in each drop of ocean water. Any one of these drops may hold the key to a cure for a wide variety of diseases. When the TV weather forecaster says, "Let's take a look at the satellite picture," most people don't think about where the picture's coming from. But if it weren't for a small operation on the Virginia coast, those satellite images might not even exist. Tropical storms kill and destroy property. But deaths from hurricanes and typhoons are fewer in recent years. That's thanks to ample warning from satellite images and data, showing the strength and direction of the storms days before they strike land.
And what we do is we monitor a receive signal coming from the satellite and peak the antenna.
This group of satellites off State Route 175 on Virginia's eastern shore is a critical piece of life or death weather forecasting. It's part of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, known as NOAA, parent agency of the National Weather Service.
All I'm doing is hearing noise.
Here, a small staff operates and maintains 4 key satellite receivers. After receiving data, they send the images to everyone from local TV stations across North America to the National Hurricane Center in Miami.
Without this station, there just would not be any weather prediction of any significance.
That's because Western Hemisphere meteorologists get most of their satellite data from 2 primary geostationary weather satellites. One is positioned at the equator over South America, the other at the equator over the Pacific. Only one receiving station collects images and data from those satellites, known as GOES. That stands for Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite. It's all downloaded at NOAA's Wallops Station. Its somewhat remote location, away from large metropolitan areas, keeps radio interference to a minimum. And the flat landscape gives the receiving dishes an unobstructed view of the horizon. This allows them to collect transmissions not only from the GOES satellite, but also from the polar orbiting satellites.
When we take a polar pass, you have multiple data links coming down simultaneously, because the polar satellites not only take real-time data of what's underneath them and send that down real-time on one of the signals, but we program the polar bird to record data at different parts of the Earth as it's passing over.
The polar satellites are even used in search and rescue of ships at sea by receiving, processing, and retransmitting data from beacon transmitters. This certainly goes hand in hand with the mission of NOAA.
The primary mission of NOAA in the field of weather is to improve forecasting and gather more environmental data to save lives. And that's what we do.
Just recently, NOAA added a life-saving function to its duties at Wallops, Virginia. It's the Emergency Manager's Weather Information Network. Important data is uplinked from this facility to the GOES satellites, and they perform double duty by downlinking that information to PCs of emergency management officers in communities throughout the United States. Even though this Weather Satellite Center has provided important hurricane forecasting information since 1966, its location puts it in the path of hurricane traffic. Only recently, new hurricane-rated antennas were put into place. The old antennas were engineered to stay tuned in only up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. Hurricane winds at over 75 miles per hour would render those receivers useless, jeopardizing accurate forecasting during a weather crisis. The new antennas can collect important data in the worst of hurricanes.
I can safely keep that antenna in an operational track mode up to 150-mile-an-hour winds.
If conditions get so bad it becomes unsafe to even man the controls in the building, NOAA has a backup receiving station in Suitland, Maryland. All to keep the information flowing so weather forecasters can help keep people out of harm's way. In the past, NASA astronauts training for space missions were unable to practice scientific experiments in a true microgravity environment. Today, designers at Ames Research Center in California are developing a virtual glove box that will allow them to do just that, something that was, up to this point, impossible while on Earth. It's called a virtual glove box, and it's the latest high-tech weapon in the NASA training arsenal.
Virtual tools are very valuable in our training. They allow us to practice and prepare before we actually get on the full-scale hands-on equipment.
With the new tool, astronauts first put on a cyber glove attached to a magnetic tracking device. These work together in translating the user's movements in relation to the cyber environment. As they look into the glove box, they're actually viewing a 3D virtual display of the workstation. A traditional glove box is an isolation system that allows scientists to practice experiments in a controlled and contained environment. The virtual realm adds a number of distinct advantages.
We can simulate microgravity. Objects can float and tumble and fall. That's something that can never be done here on Earth. No matter how much an astronaut trains with a real glove box, there's always the element of gravity.
This cyber environment also allows astronauts to train in a scenario that might otherwise be hazardous in the real-world environment. In the same way a pilot might practice emergency procedures on a flight simulator, astronauts can train on, say, a hazardous chemical spill in space.
They can anticipate all the problems that they might otherwise have if they had never seen a microgravity environment or never seen this experiment done in microgravity before.
The virtual environment lets astronauts deal with dangerous scenarios or hazardous chemicals without risk, so they can practice a variety of emergency or cleanup procedures quickly and easily. Virtual reality training also allows scientists to make procedural changes that astronauts can test easily. Coming up next, Tech Master Dave Coyne and Tech Toys.
Get a great mobile deal with this Vodafone TV offer.
With this exclusive TV offer from Vodafone, you can have it all. A hot new mobile, massive call value, and a deal you won't believe. Call now and get the sleek Nokia N97 Mini for $0 up front on Vodafone's $29 cap delivered free to your door. Plus, if you're quick, we'll throw in a $100 bonus credit to your bill. This stylish phone has it all. Large touchscreen for browsing the web, keyboard for easy SMS and emails, camera with flash, plus GPS. And it can be all yours right now for $0 up front on the new $29 cap. You'll get a massive $180 of call value included every month, plus free calls to everyone on Vodafone and 3. And if you call now, you'll also get a $100 bonus credit to your bill. This TV offer is such great value. Just one call to 1300 100 002 is all it takes to get this awesome new Nokia delivered free to your door with $180 of value every month, plus free calls to everyone on Vodafone and 3, and a $100 credit to your bill when you call now. But you can't get this amazing deal in stores, so you've got to call 1300 100 002 now.
No tall tale is safe. Each urban legend will be deconstructed, and every yarn spun for its last time. Deflating the hype. Killing the rumour. Exploding the myth. Mythbusters, tonight at 9:30 on Discovery Science, where they've been beating out the truth since 2003.
Now, Dave Coyne takes a look at some portable storage solutions and the latest in wearable computers.
Welcome to Tech Toys. Today we're going to talk about information storage. Now you may think of information storage on the floppy disks or on a huge hard drive, but we've made it actually simpler. These keychain-sized devices contain the same amount of information, if not more. And the data is getting larger and the information, I believe, or the devices are getting smaller. This is Carlos from Government Computer News, and he's the expert on these little things here. Let's talk about them. So where's it headed? Where is the information storage headed, and where are we at?
Well, you're right on the part that definitely data is getting larger, and you're equally right in the fact that storage is getting smaller. These little devices represent modern-day floppy disks. They're a little bit smaller than what we're used to seeing, but they hold as much as 2 gigabytes of information.
Okay, the USB drive. Let's talk about this one.
The USB drive is by JM Tech. It's a small 128 meg USB 1.1 drive. That 1.1 represents the USB port, the transfer rate. It comes with the ability to lock the drive on the side, and a handy little clip that will allow you to just put that right on your coat pocket.
So you can't lose it. Okay, and this one, which looks fancier, this would be the eye catcher from Sony. This is the Micro Vault.
Right, that's Sony's version of these type of little USB storage devices. It's a little bit longer than the other two. It's a little bit more cumbersome for carrying and for actually using because it sometimes sticks out of your computer or your laptop a little bit too far. Okay. But it is capable of carrying a whopping 64 megs of data.
Wow. And then, of course, the keychain one. Now, this would appeal, I guess, to the masses because you need a keychain plus an amount of information stored.
Correct. This is the Disk-On key. This one in particular is just an 8 meg version, and they have them up to 2 gigabytes.
Wow. Is it convenient? I mean, does it just stick into one of the ports in the computer? And
sure.
What port is that?
All these are USB compatible.
Okay.
So they all connect and interface via the USB port.
And I see when you put that in, there's like a green light that goes off, and the first thing I think of, that's very similar to the hard drive on my computer, the LED light.
Very perceptive,
Pretty
yes.
much the same thing.
It's a little LED light. And what it represents is the detection of the hard drive to the operating system of the PC.
I see.
And then it'll transfer information on the keychain itself, in particular the drivers. And if you're using 2000 or XP, the drivers are actually built into the devices themselves, and the computer will auto-detect it, install the drivers, and then an XP in particular ask you what you want to do with the device. Here you'll see it sees as a removable storage device.
I see.
A little removable hard drive in which you can open and take a look at your data.
Amazing. Now, do you think this is actually going to take over soon, this technology?
Absolutely. I think eventually it'll be the death of the floppy.
The death of the floppy. Well, thanks, Carlos, for letting us know the latest in portable storage. Now let's talk about the latest in portable computing. This is the Poma from Zybernaut, the latest in wearable computers.
The Poma was created by Zybernaut, a firm that specializes in wearable PCs used by delivery, phone, and repair companies. The device consists of 3 parts: the CPU, a cool heads-up display that flips down over your eye, and a pointing device that tracks and translates your finger or thumb movements for the screen inputs.
It's the first wearable computer designed for the consumer, with 2 primary applications: multimedia and surfing the net. Let's boogie.
The Poma's CPU features a 128 megahertz processor, 64 megabytes of memory, that's 32 megabytes of RAM and 32 of ROM, and a Windows CE operating system. A handy expansion slot allows the addition of a wireless network card for wandering aimlessly around the city, surfing the web and checking email. And while the heads-up display is quite impressive, you might want to find a safe place to sit while you concentrate on the screen in front of you.
So no longer are you tethered to your desktop. It's the perfect convergence platform for communicating, computing, and productivity. I'm Dave Coyne for Tech Toys, and we'll see you next time.
That's it for this show. I'm Danny Englander. Be sure to join us next time for more tech knowledge.
They change our world, and yet we take them for granted. Now, on a new series, we pull apart, unscrew, crack open, and go behind the design to reveal the fundamentals at work in modern conveniences we use every day. Machines. All new series premieres Friday, 17th December, exclusive to Discovery Science.
Some of you may find what you are about to hear rather disturbing.
Until 2 days ago, that sound had never been heard on this earth. Suddenly, it has become as much a part of 20th century life as the whir of your vacuum cleaner. It's a report from man's farthest frontier, the radio signal transmitted by the Soviet Sputnik. According to the latest Soviet announcement, the satellite is still maintaining its speed of 18,000 miles an hour, a dozen times faster than any man has ever flown.
Do you admire the Russians for doing it or not?
No, definitely not. I said we should have been the first ones to have it, if there's such thing.
It gets the American people alarmed that a foreign country, especially an enemy country, can do this, and we fear this.
Here in the USA, scientists and politicians were shocked to have been pipped at the post, and the space race had officially begun. But now, 40 years later, here in Brooklyn, a DIY New Yorker is about to redress the balance with plans for a space mission all of his own. This may look like the Sputnik, but his name is Greg, and this is the Gregnik.
My work is about the power of the individual and what the individual can do. Technology is not as complicated as it seems. There's really a myth of technology. If you can read a cookbook and cook a dinner from a cookbook, you can build a computer.
Monday, May 19, 1919. The NC-3, one of 3 U.S. Navy Curtiss flying boats attempting to cross the Atlantic, limps into Ponta Delgada in the Azores. It's been adrift for 48 hours in the open sea and won't be able to continue its attempt to be part of the first transatlantic crossing by air. As they disembark, members of the NC-3 crew learn that the NC-1 has also been disabled. Only one of the flying boats, the NC-4, is in a condition to complete the crossing.